Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything, channel likes try anything so you don't have to. Today's video is a tutorial video about this CASIO G-SHOCK GA2110, and it also applies to if you've got a CASIO GA2100. Both are also known as the Casioak, and they both share the same module number as 5611. Now I've linked to the instructions for this watch, or that module as I've just shown you, in the description box below, and if you click on the link it will take you off to the Casio website where the instructions should come on screen. So if there's anything I've missed in this video, then please refer to those instructions which I've linked to below. So the first thing to talk about will be the display, and as you can see with the or the dial as it were. As you can see with the dial, you've got the usual double hands there. So you've got the hour hand, you've got the minute hand, and also you have a day of the week indicator, which is handy. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly zoom in, and as you can see, that's the digital display there. Now in this instance, you've got a couple of things just to highlight here. You've got mute, which means if you see the mute highlighted, that means you've muted any button operations, so it shouldn't beep or anything like that. You've got the alarm, which means in this instance, as you can see, there's a little white line above it. That means the alarm is activated, or one of the 5 alarms are activated. Next to that on the right, you've got SIG, which stands for signal. So if you've got the hourly signal activated, then that'll be highlighted with a little line above it. To the right hand side, I'm just going to try and zoom in a little. You've got DST. Now if that's highlighted, that means you've got daylight saving time being honoured, and underneath that you've got HND. Now this watch will allow you to move the hands out of the way, which I'll show you how to do in a bit, and when you've got the hands moved out of the way, that'll flash just to say that that's what you've done. And the reason why you can move the hands out of the way is because they do sometimes obscure what would be the digital display. So there's a handy little couple of button presses which will allow you to move the hands out of the way, and while that's done, that will be flashing just to indicate that that's what's happened. Also, just to mention, you've got the seconds, the digital time here, and also you can display the date, which I'll show you how to do in a minute when I talk about the buttons. So just moving on to the buttons, you've got the adjust button here. Now long pressing it will allow you to adjust the date and time in timekeeping mode. It will also allow you to set an alarm and set a timer countdown, etc. But it does also, depending on the mode, have a few other functions. What I'll say as well, if you just quickly press it, it will show you, I'll just quickly press it, it will show you which city you have set this timekeeping mode to, because the thing you've got to bear in mind is when you are setting the date and time, you're going to make sure that you set the city, or the city that is nearest to you, correctly as well. So just bear that in mind when you do it, but I'll show you how to do all that when I get to the adjustment of the date and time. You've got the mode, which will allow you to just quickly flick through the many modes that this watch has got. And then what you've got is the start button. Obviously, depending on the mode, it will just change depending on what you can and can't do using that button. But in timekeeping mode, it will allow you to change between the date, or highlighting the date on the digital display, and also back to the digital time that you got the watch set to in timekeeping mode. So as you can see, you've got the date and you've also got the time. And to the top right hand corner, what you've got is the light button. Now I'm going to move the watch over I've moved the watch over to the left hand side, and what I'm just quickly showing you is the backlight and how it looks in, as you can see here, under the studio lights. But also to the right hand side, I'm showing you it in darkness and semi-darkness. Now you can set the backlight to be 1.5 seconds and 3 seconds, so you've got the 2 options you can choose from in terms of how long it illuminates for, and that will be done within the time and date adjustment, which I shall show you in a minute. And that's it really, and that's the buttons in a nutshell. As I say, there is a couple of button presses here which will allow you to change the hands or move the hands out of the way. So if you've got the hands obscuring the digital display, what you do is you just press the 2 buttons. Well, you've got to just press it at the same time if you can. Yeah, there you go, and you'll hear a double beep. Now that's moved the hands out of the way of what would be the day of the week here. But if the hands are obscuring what would be most parts of the digital display, it will move to about there. Now what you can see, the HND is flashing away to say that you've moved the hands out of the way, and if you just press it again, what you can see, the hands go back. But please note that you have pressed the mode button, so it will advance the mode by 1. So just bear that in mind when you are performing that hand set out the way operation. Right, to adjust the date and time, what you need to do is just keep your finger on the adjust button here, and you'll see it's flashing set, and the handset will move. And what you need to do first of all is to set the city code, or the city that is nearest to you. Now this is important because it does affect what will be world time, and also the kind of the times that are shown within world time. So make sure that you do set the city code to what is nearest to you. Now what you can see, or what I'm flashing up here, is all the city codes as well, so you can just see what city, hopefully what city is nearest to you, so you can change the code to that. So if you pause the video while I just quickly show it, yeah, that'll get an idea what city code you need to change that to. So I'm going to just quickly show it you now. And right, we're back. So what you need to do, you can either press that button to move it once, so obviously it's Madrid, and you can see it's Paris and Rome, but you can also press the top right hand button. If I just zoom it in so you can see it better, you can go backwards as well, or what would be west, because as you press that button there, you're going east. If you press the top right hand button, you're going west on the what would be the time zone. So as you can see, I've got it Paris, Rome, Berlin, and if I go backwards, I want to go back to London, because that's the city, the closest city to me, living in the northeast of England. Now what you need to do is press the mode button to move it on one. And as you can see, that is for setting what would be known as daylight saving time. Now if I can just quickly, it's not the best way of showing you, but as you can see, you got the DST flashing away there. That means that's the option that you're choosing. Obviously you can turn it off and you can turn it on as well. So it's important just to find out if you are, wherever you live, if you are honouring daylight saving time. And being in the UK, and obviously it's not turned October yet, we are honouring daylight saving time, so I'm going to leave that turned on. The next option, when you press the mode button, you can choose between 12-hour or 14-hour time formats, so by pressing that button down the bottom right hand corner. So obviously I'm going to keep it to 12-hour, but you can change it, well I'll change it to 24 hours so you can see when I adjust the time how it's changed. The next one, mode, this is the seconds, so anything over 30 seconds when you press the what would be the adjust button down here, you can see that it's added a value of 1 to the minutes. If it's under 30 seconds, you can see that it just zeroes the seconds off and keeps the minutes as they are. Now if I press the mode button again, I'm going to advance this time, or what be the hours, to what be 10 o'clock, because that's the time in which I'm recording this. So you can go forward, or if I press the top right hand button, you can go backward as well. So let's go forward and go to what would be 10 o'clock in the morning. So there you go, you got 10. Now if I just move it on to the minutes, and I'm just going to quickly check the time, it is 10:01, so that's fine for me. But again, you can go forward if you want, or you can go backward if you want also. So I'll just keep it as that. And then if I just move it onto what would be the year, so you can see here you got 2024. Again, you can go forward and you can go backward. So the next thing to adjust will be the date. So obviously what you got here is the month. So we are in September. So if I just go forward, if you want, it's a bit hard pressing the buttons all the time, holding it in front of the camera. But as you can see, that's the 9th, or you can go backward as well. So that could be what would be July. So if I go August, September. And then if you want to go forward, we are in what would be, I believe, I'll just check. It is the 12th. So if I want to go forward, or I can go backward, as you can see there. And then if I move it on forward, what that is there, that indicates if you want to turn the mute option on or off. So if I turn the mute on, the watch is muted, and you'll see that the mute has been flashing there. That means that the mute is indicated. When you come out of the adjustment phase, that'll be just a permanent white line above the word mute, but I'm going to keep it on. And then if I want to turn the light to what would be 1.5 second delay or 3 second delay, you can do it via that adjustment part there. And then go back to what would be the adjustment of the city code. Now at any time through the adjustment phase, you can come out of it by just pressing the adjustment button. But what I will say is when you press the adjustment button, what you'll see is the time will change with the hours, or the handset that you can see there, as well as what you'll see is the date indicator change there. So if I press the adjust button, you can see all of that change. And the beauty is you don't have to do that separately as well, which is fantastic. So if I press the adjust button, as you can see, it is adjusting. So I'm going to just quickly speed this video up so it goes to 10:03 AM. And there you go, that's 10:03 AM. So it's as easy to set the time as that. And as I've said, if the handset is in the way of the digital display, just press those two buttons and it will move out the way conveniently. And then press the light button and mode button again, those two buttons, to get it back to whatever was set previously. And it's easily done. So the next mode I'm going to show you how to operate will be world times. Now all you need to do is press the mode button once from the timekeeping screen, and as you can see you've got I'm highlighting Athens here. Now I'm going to quickly show you the world time codes again, just so you get an idea of what you can look at in terms of the world times. So I'm going to quickly show you now. And we're back. So what you can do, as you can see, you've got it on Athens, but you can go forward if you want. Unfortunately, you can't go backwards. It can only be forward, or what would be east. So just remember, as you are pressing these buttons here, you are going east. So you've got quite a few that you can choose between. And let me see if I can say, for example, Tokyo, Adelaide. Let's go on Adelaide there. So that is now set the time for Adelaide. And what you'll see is once you've chosen the specific city or time zone that you are looking at, you will see that that will change. So once you've chosen your city, you want to look at the world time. If they are honouring daylight saving time, you can turn that on and off, and all you need to do is just long press the adjust button while you're in world time mode, and what you'll see is that it'll say on. So in this instance you've got the daylight saving time on for that city that you've chosen, and if you want to turn it back off, you can easily do so by just long pressing it. When you hear a beep, the daylight saving time option is off. And that's world time in a nutshell on this Casio GA2110 or GA2100. Now the next mode to show you how to operate on this watch will be the stopwatch mode. Now if you press the mode button from timekeeping mode once, and then you got twice, which is STW, and you've obviously got all the values zeroed off. Now to operate the stopwatch, what you need to do is press this button here to start the stopwatch. So as you can see, what you do is when you press that button, you can see the hundredths of a second counting away and the seconds above it just there. Now if you want to pause, or if you want to just stop the stopwatch, you can just stop it there, and as you can see the time elapsed time has stopped recording. But if you want to start it again, just press it again. So if you want to stop and reset it, you press the start button and then you press the adjust button at the top left hand corner. As you can see, it's zeroed off there. Now if you want to do what is known as a split time, what you do is start the elapsed time counting away, as you can see here. Now if you press the top left hand button there, what you'll see, if I just press it, you'll see the letters SPL flashing away there. That means is that the elapsed time is still counting away, but it is showing you a split time. To release the split time, what you need to do is just press the adjust button again, and what you'll see, it has jumped up to what it's been counting so far. Again, stop the stopwatch. You can do that by pressing that button and then press the adjust button to zero off the value. Now the final thing this watch can show you is what would be first and second indicated finish times. So I always give you the example. You imagine you've got two runners in a race and you want to see what time each of them finishes the race at. So both of them start running, and as you can see, you've started the elapsed time. Now if the first one gets through the finish line at a super quick rate, and as they're going through the finish line, what you need to do is press the adjust button there, and that gives you an indicated finish time for the first runner. And as the second runner is going through the finish line, what you need to do, as they're over the finish line, you press that button there to stop the elapsed time, and if you want to see what their indicated finish time is, you just press the top left hand button to show you the indicated second finish time there, because what you've done, you've just released the split time, and as you stop the stopwatch, it just shows you what it's counted to. So in theory, it is the second person's finish time. And then if you just want to zero off the values, you can easily do so by pressing the adjust button again. And that's how to operate the stopwatch on this Casio G-SHOCK watch. Right, the next option I'm going to show you, or the next mode I'm going to show you on this watch, will be how to operate the countdown timer on this watch. And what you can do is press the mode button once, twice, three times, and what you'll see is TMR. Now I've got it so all the values are zeroed off. Now what you can do, this watch will count down from 24 hours. Now if you've got the values zeroed off and you just press the start button, it will start to count down from what will be 24 hours. Now you can easily, you can obviously keep it running like that, but you can easily stop it or pause the countdown timer, as you can see there, and then you can resume it again by pressing the start button again, and as you can see, it is counting down. So you got 23 hours 59 minutes and whatever seconds it is counting down from. And if you want to stop it and reset it, you press that button there, and then you press the adjust button at the top left hand corner, and that resets the value to whatever you've got the countdown timer set at. Now you can set it to your own time that you want it to count down from. So if I set it, say, for 10 minutes to count down, what you need to do is press the adjust button and keep your finger down so it says set. and what you'll see is that the handset will move out of the way just so you can see what you're setting the countdown timer to. So obviously you can set the hours by going forward, pressing the bottom right hand button, or going backwards, pressing the top right hand button. And I just want to put it on 10 minutes. So again, you press the mode button to move it onto the minutes. And what you can see is that you have set it to what would be 10 minutes there. So if I went a bit over, I can press the top right hand button to go backwards. And you can also set the seconds as well if you want. You can go what would be 10 minutes and 30 seconds, but I'm just going to put it back to 0 so you can see it counting down. And if I just let go the adjustment by pressing the adjust button at the top left hand corner, you can see the hand goes back to whatever time you've set it in timekeeping mode, and then start the timer based on what you've set the timer to. As you can see, it'll start counting down, and again you can also pause it and you can restart the timer as well from whatever you're counting down from, and then obviously you can stop it and then you can reset it to whatever you've got the countdown timer set to. And that's how to operate the countdown timer on the CASIO G-SHOCK, known as the Casioak. Now the final mode I'm going to show you how to operate will be the alarm mode. Now what you need to do is just press the mode button once, twice, 3, 4, so you see ALM, and now that what you've got here, it says, you notice it says AL1. Now what this watch has got, you can set up to 5 different alarms on this watch, so 5 independent alarms. Well, you can easily choose between the different alarms you want to set by pressing the start button down the bottom right hand corner, so they'll allow you to choose one of the 5 alarms that you can set, and also the hourly signal. Now if you want to turn the hourly signal on, when you go to SIG and you see 00, what you do is just press the adjust button to the top left hand corner. What you'll see, it says signal on, and what you'll see, if I can zoom in a little, you see the little line highlighted over the letters SIG. If I want to turn it off, make sure you're in the signal part of the alarm, and then just press the adjust button to the top left hand corner, and it'll say SIG, and then you've got the 2 dashes there, and the signal part, or the SIG, isn't highlighted anymore. And that's how to turn the hourly signal on and off. Now if I want to set one of the alarms, so let's go to what would be alarm 1. Now if I want to turn the alarm off, so currently the alarm is on, indicated by the ON letters or on word, and also you've got the ALM indicated with a line above it. If I want to just turn it off, you just press the adjust button there, and the same will go for any alarms that I can turn on and turn on. So alarm 2, again pressing that top left hand button, I can turn it on and I can turn it off, and the same will go with alarm 3, alarm 4, alarm 5, etc., as well as the signal which I've just shown you. Now if I want to set the alarm, so I'm going to set alarm 1 to say, let's say 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So I've got it on alarm 1, and I'm going to press the adjust button for a couple of seconds, and it'll allow me to set the alarm. Again, the handset's just moved out of the way for convenience, so let's set it for say 11. So I want to go forward, so you just press the bottom right hand button, but if I want to go backward, you can easily do so by pressing the top right hand button. So forward to 11, let's set it for 11 o'clock, and then again let's go backwards by pressing the top right hand button. Again, don't forget you can also go forward, but I'm going to go backward to what would be 11 o'clock. 9, 10, let's quickly do it one more time, and there you go. Once I let go of it, it is now set for 11 o'clock, and obviously once you're at the adjustment, the hands will go back to whatever you set the time in timekeeping mode. Now what you'll notice, as soon as I've set the alarm, it has activated the alarm, but if you just want to turn that off, you just press the adjust button while you're on alarm 1, and as you can see, it's got the dashes there, which means the alarm's off, and also the ALM hasn't got the line above it. If I want to turn it back on, as you can see, it says alarm 1 on, and then you got the alarm indicator there, and I'm just going to turn it off because I don't fancy going it off at 11 o'clock, and there you go, it's all turned off. And that's the alarm in a nutshell, really. Now there is one other thing that you can do, which is when you're in timekeeping mode, you can align the hands with the digital display a lot more accurately, or if they are out of sync, there is an option where you can do that. But what I would say is I'm going to refer to the instructions on the Casio website for you to do that, because it is a little bit more involved, and it will extend the length of this video quite considerably, really. So if you want to do that, then just click on the link in the description box below, and it will take you off to that PDF, which will highlight the whole module and what you can do. So if there is anything I've missed, you can view it in that PDF as well. So that is the CASIO G-SHOCK, or known as the Casioak. And if this video has helped you, then please click on the like button, always helps the channel. If you want to see more videos from the We Try Anything channel, then click on the subscription button below. And I really do hope this video was of some help to you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.